Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to the MikeWagnerShow@gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the Donate Listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Deezer, Stitcher, and more as well, too. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with a wonderful duo of Joshua Tree, California. They come from the Chicago area and have, meander its way throughout, as being in London, the UK, and Austin, and many others as well, too. And they've got an album out called Winding Soul with the single Follower, also Sinner. They made their debut with Wine, Water, and Bread, which is very unique. They've had Strange Days and share the stage with a number of artists. We'll get to that. But right now, this group is on fire, and they don't need to bug you about it. So live, ladies and gentlemen, from beautiful California, out in the desert, Firebug. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, thanks. Great to be here.
Hey, it's great to have you guys as well, too. So you guys are out of California. You came from Chicago. You guys met up, and you also have been in Austin, New York City as well, too. You had a unique journey of how you guys met. You've got an album out called Winding Soul featuring the single Follower, which is on YouTube and all the streaming platforms. You also have Sinner that's out. You debuted with Wine, Water, and Bread, which featured Strange Days. You shared the stage with Iron Maiden, Iggy Pop, Alice in Chains, The Cult, and Tim Morello for Rage Against the Machine. And you also won some awards as well, too. And before we get into all that, tell us how you got started and you first met.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Juliet and I, we met in Chicago. We're both from Chicago. And we formed our band in the Wicker Park neighborhood of Chicago a while back. And then we took it to Los Angeles. We made 2 records. The last record before Wandering Soul, which is the new one that you're discussing, was called Season for Change, and we did that out in Los Angeles. And then about 8 years ago, we made the move to New Orleans, and we lived in New Orleans for a little over 5 years. And then we just came out to the desert recently, and the record Wandering Soul, we actually recorded. Before we moved to New Orleans and we lived in Los Angeles, a producer up here, Chris Goss, brought us up to Joshua Tree, and we recorded half of the record up here with him. But that's kind of our story in a kind of a condensed version, I guess, of our journey, like Juliet and I. But but that's where we met.
It started with the two of us.
It started with the two of us in Chicago.
All the way back in Chicago, yeah.
And we brought a full band over to Los Angeles at the time. We left Chicago, and and then we've had different people on our journey here, backing us up and that kind of stuff.
So. Well, we lived at the time. We lived in Los Angeles, though. We used to come out to the Joshua Tree area every once in a while. It was just something that we used to like to do. That was even prior to us coming out here to record with Chris Goss. So we've always had a love of the area. So one of those things that we always had in the back of our minds, like, well, maybe someday we'll go back to the Joshua Tree area. So here we are.
That is amazing. What's the one moment that influenced you both into writing music or getting the band going?
What? I'm sorry?
What was the one moment that influenced you both into getting the band started and getting into music?
Oh, getting into music. Wow. Well,
the band.
The band. Well, as far as getting into music, that's for me. Speaking for myself, it's something I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to do my whole life. I always wanted to sing. I was pretty certain like when I was a little girl that I wanted to be a singer in a band. So, but as far as the band goes, with Jules and I, when we met, we didn't. Neither of us at the time. I mean, we both had been in bands prior to that, to meeting. I mean, but at the time we met. Neither of us were in a band. We sort of just auditioned one another. We're just looking for players, and when we met, we clicked, and so we decided we would form a band, around us, which is basically what we did, and we've been the core, ever since.
I met Juliet, was working at a blues club in Chicago called Kingston Mines, which is well known, and that's when I first saw her sing.
Great venue, great, a lot of great musicians.
She went up on stage with, I think it was
many different people.
I can't remember. Exactly.
I used to work there. You're getting it. The Kingston Mines. Wow, what? If I didn't say it, I'll say it again. Wow, if you're ever in Chicago, it's a great place to hear some great blues musicians. Wow, that was a time of my life that was a huge influence on me, because I just, you get to hear so many great musicians and singers. I was actually a server. I was a cocktail waitress in the Kingston Mines. I was a rocker girl working at a blues bar, and so I was getting cultured in a big way. So a lot of the musicians they were not, as well as being really talented, obviously, we're also really friendly and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Warm and accommodating to me. Like, it's a late night. It still is a late night place. I used to get up many times, at the end of my shift and sing with some of the best musicians, yeah.
But so that's when I first knew, like, I wanted to work with her, because she had the audience eating out of her hand. So I was like, okay, there's something going on here, and I could, she's a very gifted singer, and we just started to. We said, okay, let's see if this will work. Let's start working on some songs and see if we could form a band, and that's what we did.
That is amazing too. And who are some of your favorite artists and singers growing up as well?
Oh. It's a long list.
We've got time. It's okay.
Where do I start? There's so many great artists, musicians, singers from different eras. From the 60s, from the 70s. I'm big into the 60s and 70s. And 90s as well. And beyond. I kind of skipped over the 80s a little bit. With regards to influences, except for with a few exceptions like U2, like Bono, but like I name like a great like singer from like the classic rock era, and I probably would say I'm influenced by them. David Bowie, obviously, all the greats, Robert Plant, Bad Company. I'm having a. 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 what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to remember his name, the singer from Bad Company. I know Paul Rogers. I was going to say Roger. Paul Rogers. All these great, a lot of soul singers, obviously, Aretha Franklin and big influenced me growing up as a little girl. Did I say David Bowie? Muddy Waters. I really started getting heavily into blues, Willie Dixon, there are many, and that later on, in the 90s, I was a big fan of Chris Cornell. It was a huge influence to me. I have a lot of male influences for a female singer. And I don't know why that is. It's just the way it is, and it's not entirely, I don't only listen to male singers, but I guess maybe it's just part of being in a rock band kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm. And then Joe, how about you? Where's some of your favorites growing up?
I grew up with, I was listening to all kinds of stuff. I was mostly into hard rock and some metal, I guess, when I was a little kid. I liked, I listened to everything from Metallica to to bands like Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and a lot of the Seattle sound kind of stuff going on. And then I kind of grew into more, a lot of the classic bands started rubbing off on me, like Led Zeppelin and Rolling Stones. And
I forgot to mention Mick Jagger, of course.
And the Beatles
Big Stones
and all that stuff.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
I forgot to mention one.
Juliet's a huge Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that's true.
But she got me into Rolling Stones. I was more into, I was just more into heavier stuff. That's what I grew up with, like Iron Maiden and stuff. But I don't really emulate them as a guitar player. I'm more heavily influenced now with kind of funk and blues and infused with our rock sound, I guess. And I like a lot of female singer-songwriters. There's some people I respect out there that are really good, and I like obviously Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that, and Hart, Nancy Wilson. And stuff
after this interview is over, we'll think of, we should have said this, we should have said that, we forget this person.
That stuff will happen, but we'll have you back on again soon, and you can always rattle off more as well too. And of course, before we talk more about your music, what was the best concert you guys have ever seen, especially in to your stage show?
What's the best concert that we've ever seen?
Yeah, or you both been to, or it can be individual.
Oh, you go first, Jules.
What, the best concert I've ever seen? I don't know. And I think back, the most unique concert, a really cool concert I went to, I saw Peter Gabriel. And
nice.
And he played on 2 stages on either side of the Forum in Los Angeles. And he had it was like this makeshift sailboat in the center of the auditorium. And he would play a set on the one stage, and the band would get on the boat, and then they would slowly go over to the other side of the auditorium, right? So everybody who sat in the auditorium actually had a front row seat to see Peter Gabriel. And I thought that was quite innovative. I thought that was pretty cool because nobody was far away from the show. They kind of moved it around. That was my probably favorite concert as far as I don't know. It just was different and interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a few. Gosh, it's so hard to narrow things down to one event, or one occasion. I remember seeing a band called The Verve, an English band, about 10 years ago, and that was a great show. I've also always been a huge fan of The Verve for a really long time too. I wish they were still together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't think that they are.
No, they're not.
They're great band, great live band. Another one was Black Sabbath. They had a reunion tour with Ronnie James Dio, and that was a little over 10 years ago, maybe.
Wow. Okay.
That was incredible too. And that, well, no, wait, maybe I'm getting confused. Yeah, there was a Black Sabbath reunion tour. I remember
well, it's called Heaven and Hell.
Right, right. That's right.
Yeah.
And then there was another Black Sabbath reunion tour. It was with Ozzy, and that was really good.
That was a long time ago.
That was great.
Yeah.
And so, some of the great, just local shows, like I used to work at the Kingston Lions. I remember Carl Weathersby is a really talented artist. I would say almost any show that he ever played was a great show. It's really great music, And there was one time, for being up close and personal. I remember one time Junior Wells, the harmonica player, came in one time when I was working at the Kingston Lions. He just came in, walked in the door and just got up and started playing with the musicians who were on the stage. It was like. And I was I was mesmerized because here's this man that influenced the Rolling Stones, which also happened to be one of my favorite bands, right there, you know what I mean? Just a few feet away from me in this little venue playing. It was just incredible. Yeah.
That is amazing, too. I'll talk about your couple of albums along with your singles. To listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with California's Firebug. They started in Chicago and also made the rounds as well, too, with a very unique sound. They had a couple of albums out called Wine, Water, and Bread, which featured Strange Days, and also Wandering Soul, their latest, featuring Follower and Sinner. And let's talk about your first album as well, too, Wine, Water, and Bread, and the single Strange Days. Tell us all about the album. What influenced you to write the song Strange Days?
You
ask difficult questions. No, I'm just kidding. What the song "Straight"? I always have a difficult time trying to explain what songs are about because they're so personal, and I always try to leave the door open for people to make their own interpretations when they're listening. But it's "Strange Days" a song. Just, basically what the mindset that I was in when writing that was just, life, sometimes it could seem strange. The world is a crazy place and nothing's, ever really, nothing really stays the same. Nothing's really static. Everything's always moving and changing. So sometimes you feel like you can lose your footing, kind of a thing. And so basically it's just about life and transitions and, I hope that was a good enough explanation. I'll see if I can add to that in a second. But it's pretty much, I think, where I was coming from at the time.
That is amazing, too. And, of course, your new album, Winding Soul, which features Follower and Sinner. Tell us more about the album and also the meaning behind Follower and Sinner.
Oh, well.
Or what inspired you to write it?
Followers kind of sarcasm, it's about, kind of stumming your nose up, so to speak, to, not being an individual. Like it's about being an individual, and it's just basically sarcasm towards the idea that, we should all walk in lockstep and think the same, have the same thought processes. Pretty much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And who mainly writes the songs in the group, and where do the songs actually come from, like the inspiration?
Well, we're a team. We both write. I write all the lyrics. I always have. So we have different way. We have we don't have one set approach really to writing. So sometimes I'll sit and I'll write. I'll come up with stuff on my guitar or now piano because I've been working on piano. Waiting for our next record to come out. You'll hear that, but. I'll sit down and write with my guitar, and I'll write some lyrics, and I'll have a melody, and I'll have a basic structure of a song, and then Jules and I will come together, and then we'll work on it, and we'll expand from there. Sometimes he'll have some music, and then and then he'll come to me, and then I'll sit down and add some melody and lyrics and maybe sometimes extra guitar melodies and music. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. It's always from one or the two of us, and never really. It's just a process. It just happens. It's not something that we just think about. It's pretty organic, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I usually just I as a guitar player, when I'm working with Juliet, she definitely has her own signature sound and a way of playing, like a style. And what I try to do is I try to just flow over her songs and try to add and make the songs ebb and flow, I guess, with my guitar playing, like in and out, like adding dynamics and adding some melody and playing off of her vocal lines and stuff like that. So that's what I do. So
that is amazing. And also, would you like to play one of your songs for us on the Mike Wagner Show?
Sure. You want to go grab a guitar? Okay. I don't have my guitar handy right now, but Jules is we're gonna do. He's gonna play and I'll sing.
Okay, that sounds great. While he's getting his guitar, getting ready to go, you'd like to remind everybody, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page, Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with California's Firebug. That's courtesy of Spectral Records, and they came from Chicago, and they're going to play it for us as well, too. So right here on the Mike Wagner Show, here's Firebug, and what are you going to play for us?
We are going to play the title track from our new record, Wandering Soul, which is...
Wandering Soul.
Wandering Soul. We'll try that one. Here we go, ready? Yeah.
Traveling down this road, all my shoes are worn, but not my soul. Time moves on, I don't worry, I just keep on. Oh, I'm a wandering soul. Oh, I'm a wandering soul. Time moves on with more purpose than I've ever known. I don't know where the path leads, oh, but I believe. Oh, I'm a wandering soul. Oh, I'm a wandering soul.
Is fantastic. Wandering Soul. That is from Firebug, the acoustic version. And where can people find your music?
So people can find our music, obviously, through Spectre Records. That's the label that it's released on. iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. Add us to your playlists. Any curators listening or anybody, please add us to your Spotify playlist and share our music. And every Deezer, all the digital download sites online. We're everywhere. So.
That is, and go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was just going to add that you could also visit our website as well, firebugmusic.com. All the links to pretty much everything is on the website as well. So yeah.
That is great too. And also, you also share the stage with Iron Maiden, Iggy Pop, Alice in Chains, The Cult, Tim Morello from Rage Against the Machine. Tell us all about that. And who's your favorite to play with?
So when we performed with those artists, that was the biggest music festival we ever performed at, and
wow.
it was called the Sonisphere Festival. They don't have them anymore, but it was a big European, mostly hard rock festival, and we were invited to play it, and that was at Nebworth, which is a really famous like outdoor auditorium to perform at in just north of London. So we were added to the bill. We played on the Strongbow stage. Strongbow, they make cider and stuff like that, a big popular drink. And that was a big eye opener for us because we actually got thrown in with a lot of the giants in the industry, and well, we did.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a lot of fun. It was great fun.
And we've never had so much press in our lives, just hanging out. They had this little farmhouse where all the press people from all over the UK and everywhere else, they were just interviewing all these bands, and it's just crazy. We had so many interviews from all different types of magazines and radio stations and stuff. So it was a wonderful experience for us. We really had a wonderful time. But that's when we played with Iron Maiden and those acts, and they were on the same bill with them. And so there were a lot of bands on that bill, but we were very fortunate to be on it. I mean, there were, I think the attendance overall for Nebworth was about 90,000 people. So
wow.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, that was very exciting. And for us, it was fun because, we built a little tour around it. So when we played the festival, we did some shows in London, and we also traveled around the country, up in the north and Nottingham and Sheffield and all the towns and down in the southwestern part of England. So yeah, it was nice we like to build we have a fan base over in the UK, so we like to go back and do some more shows over there as well. So.
That's very nice, too. And also, you also had some accolades as well, too. Best Songwriters of the Year, winner of the UK New Music Video Award, Best International Act 2 years in a row, or 2 times at the UK Exposure. Tell us all about that, and must be a great experience for you.
Yeah, well, they just really, there's some people that ran this UK, it was a UK Music Awards. I don't know if it's still going on, but at the time they picked up one of our music videos. I think it was Dreaming of America, one of our songs. And we weren't there at the time that they had their award ceremony. I guess they held it because we were obviously over here. But yeah, we were honored to be chosen to be a part of that and stuff. So I mean,
we definitely didn't expect it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and we wound up going over there a few times off of that and touring the country and stuff like that. So it was worked out. We look forward to going back again. We
definitely look forward to going
hopefully
back.
With this new record and things work out for 2020, we're planning on, getting our band together, around us to go maybe perform a tour in Europe and certain countries, maybe for a month or two, going over there longer. It just depends, So that's something we're looking forward to doing, this year.
And I was going to ask you about what your plans are for 2020, talking about getting a band together and going to Europe. And what are your other plans coming up, especially later down the road?
So we have
to release our next collection of songs. Yeah. I guess we recorded some new music recently, and we feel pretty strongly about it. We continue to grow, and we feel we worked. with a great engineer and a really nice studio here up in the higher upper desert here, and it's just the production came out really, really, really well, and we're excited about it. Obviously we like the songs. Yeah, so we're our goal is to get the new stuff out after when we're ready, I guess.
Yeah. Because Wandering Souls now for a little while. So yeah, we basically recorded another record up here, so it's unreleased but it's all done, it's all mixed and mastered, and we're just figuring out which song in the future here relatively soon we want to throw out there and see what happens with it. So obviously now in the world of music, a lot of it's getting on playlists with Spotify and different things. That's our world now. So we're trying to, have it fly around the playlist world, which is that's where everything is at now. And so that it's a different strategy for us.
Our goal is to get more exposure, basically.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That is fantastic. You guys got a great thing going. Love to have you back on in 2020 as well too. Later down the road, setting it fire as well too. And
who's to come back?
Yes, and who do you consider biggest influence in your careers?
Ooh. You're asking the toughest questions. There's biggest influences are. I forgot to mention someone. I really have a strong affinity for a lot of blues artists. And one person a couple of people I forgot to mention. That are relatively unknown, but I think that should be known. R.L. Burnside. He is no longer with us, unfortunately. And Robert Belfour, they're both blues musicians from North Mississippi. Excuse me. You can slow down so I can pronounce it. So they're great musicians. Speaking of the last 10, 15 years of my life, kind of influence. They were a huge influence on me. But there are so many, And I love the Verve, and even though I know they're not together anymore, I love their music as well. I love that I don't know. I guess you'd say it's kind of a British kind of psychedelic sound, So if you could imagine a cross between that and the blues, those two things have influenced me in a big way.
And Joel, how about you as well?
So for me, I have so many different things. I play so many different styles now. I love Jimmy Page is huge on me. I love Jimmy's style. I love his tone. I love his diversity and variety in his writing. Obviously with Led Zeppelin, that's where the pinnacle is. And I like more lyrical guitar players, I guess. I appeal to, and so mostly it's older school players that I like, But I also enjoy listening to players like Ben Harper and and Lenny Kravitz and
Ben Harper's great.
And
definitely up there, one of my influences as well.
Yeah,
one of those that I forgot to mention, Ben Harper.
Yeah. I like obviously the great guitar. I love Eric Clapton. I love Ritchie Blackmore. Even
There's another one.
I love the great old school players because back in those days,
Rush.
It's very Alec Lifeson's amazing. Rush is just incredible.
Yeah. Oh my God.
To me, anyways, I'm a huge Rush fan. Obviously,
They help me to think.
They make me think all the time. So my head swells every time I listen to these guys.
Oh,
it swells.
Good
full of knowledge. It's great.
And I also just want to say, I just want to say thanks to Bobby Collins at Spectre Records, for releasing our Wandering Soul record, and getting it out there to the world. That's our label. So.
All right. That's right. We'll pass the word on as well, too. And what's the best advice you give to anybody at this point?
Best advice?
Yes.
Oh.
That's not so tough, is it?
Well, you can. I guess you can generalize. to general, I guess just take life day by day, one step at a time, and don't move too fast.
And then how about you, Joel?
Just don't. Remember always, two words I've learned from Andy Warhol, of all people, is so what? Sometimes I just be like, right? So what? I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. So that's my advice right now.
So what? That's the best advice I heard. I thought I was going to say 15 minutes or Campbell's soup.
Oh, no.
I thought you were going to say something like deeply philosophical or something.
That is deeply philosophical.
Oh, it makes me want to have a thing of Campbell's soup with Andy Warhol for 15 minutes.
There you go.
Hey, guys, just want to say a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you on again soon as well, too, later in 2020. And before we go here, just tell everybody what's your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase or listen to your music?
So our upcoming project, I mean, we have a recorded record we haven't released yet, some new music that's possibly coming here maybe in a few months or so, like we're going to drop a single. And our music is available everywhere: iTunes, Amazon, Deezer, all the digital platforms, universally, like all over the place. And we're booking shows. We have a couple shows here coming up in February, and we're trying to book more shows regionally. But we're also planning on hopefully getting over to Europe and booking a tour, and that's
you can also visit our website again, which is firebugmusic.com.
Yeah, and our hashtag is Firebug Music. So Instagram, Facebook is all Firebug Music. Just tag that at the end and you'll find us. So.
Sounds good. We'll do that. Guys, just want to say a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. You guys are great. Looking forward to having you again soon. And do us a favor, keep us up to date.
Okay, we will. Thank you, Mike, for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Have a good night.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.